So you're watching the Squad Creators Podcast on TSH Network.
Bang yeah, bang yeah, bang yeah, bang yeah, bang yeah, bang yeah, bang yeah.
Say that being a YouTuber is a charity thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you say that, and what steps are you making to change that?
So it's a charity case because first and foremost, we're all competing against each other for attention.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And the only way that we make money is if you click my link and you then go buy a product. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's just one business model. Most of us in this lane work under this business model. We don't get paid up front for the content. We get paid when somebody uses our referral link. It's just the way it goes until you get big enough that you can demand money up front, or if you got production costs. And I've seen like pricing all over the charts. You know what I mean? Like from the cheapest to thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, right?
Sure.
So
Right.
when you look at the base structure for how you make money, it's like, man, I'm waiting on Google Ads, which is, bro, is good, but don't get me wrong, it's not like that's the least amount of money that you can make potentially, right?
Uh-huh.
Then you look at affiliate marketing, which, you know, hey, you could be a person, you know, basically I just talked about all the products that I was using. And then when people started asking me for more questions, heat press, all this stuff, I just started adding stuff that people wanted to do, right? So you talk about affiliate marketing. Eventually you run out of products, then what? I'm out of, like, what else? Like, how many more transfer companies do I talk about? How many, right? How many more vinyl companies do I talk about, right? And I don't care which one you use. I use who I use, right? And I test products out and I do all of this stuff and I try to figure out what's right so I could bring the right information to the internet, right? But
Absolutely.
again, we're all competing against each other for attention in a click of a link. And not only do we got to click the link, but we got to hope you click the link within either, for Amazon, it's like 48 hours or 24 hours.
Right.
For some companies, it might be 15 days or 30 days. So you got to make these customers have to make a conscious decision to remember to use our links. Man, listen, I forget to use my own links in the beginning, right? I forgot, like sometimes you just doing what you do. But to go out of your way means a lot to us content creators. But again, it's still a charity case, right? And we help companies make thousands. We help them build brand, which can't be quantified with a dollar amount. And because it can't be qualified with a dollar amount, you have to be working with companies that truly understand what it is that's going on. And again, I think people deserve money. I think people deserve free product. It's easy to get. But to what level of support do I ask? Is this a true partnership? You get what I'm saying? Like, you know, are you going to help me drive home my initiatives or what I'm trying to do? Figure out and even understand how I'm trying to grow and what I'm trying to do. Like, yeah, I don't think every content creator out there deserves a payment upfront for content or monthly or anything like that. At the same time, I think at a certain point, you need support and you have enough value. You're doing like, it's beyond numbers, in my opinion.
So when you speak on support, can you elaborate a little bit more on support other than monetary gains?
So support, I mean, like I said, free product is easy. Like it doesn't take for anything for a company to give you a free product to test it or to do whatever it is that you're doing, you know, but like support could be a lot of different things. What I can tell you right now, for me, it's like, man, help me drive home these initiatives. Help me like sponsor this event so we can have an event for us, by us. You know what I'm saying? Like come invest back into the community. There's a lot of ways that, and I think I talk to so many, it's different because if you asking me about like our style of YouTube and stuff like that, but if you go talk to the crafter, it's a completely different set of means because they're not made to convert because people are making stuff behind in their house with stuff that they had or bought or they're thrifting for. It's a completely different ecosystem that you have to understand. Then you take that and you go to the professional decorator, right? So the term that they use is the consumer, the prosumer, and the professional, right? So those are kind of the three areas. And that's basically the crafter, the home-based business, side hustler, clothing brand, and then the professional decorator. That's kind of those markets, right? And in these pockets of the industry, everybody needs something different. And You know what I mean? And it just comes from that. And, you know, that's why I try to make, like, even with like the Made the Hustle event that I'm working on, right? Like the first round, the reason I moved the date back is because, you know, like there's so much red tape. There's so much, I got to do this before we can do that. And I got like, oh man, I would love to sponsor your event, but you know, hey, let me, you know, it's like so much if and I got to ask this company, it's so much behind the scenes that goes into it. I'm like, wait a minute, man, like that is not how we going to operate. If you want to come party with us, then come on, right? And we're not shutting somebody out because of this or that. We're not getting into that because y'all don't make Impressions do it. Y'all don't make this Print United do it. And I got relationship with both of them. I think what they're doing is great, but like you want me to be exclusive to you, but okay, how about you don't sign up any other influencers? Just me. You know what I mean? Like, where's the fair exchange? Think about it. I compare this to the music industry. It's a parallel in the entirety of what's going on. And that's what I'm studying to kind of like figure out how to navigate this lane.
Wow.
So let me ask you, the Made to Hustle event, how does that compare to the Bella Canvas event that we attended in Long Beach?
It's a stepping stone, man. I mean, Bella Canvas had a great experience at that event. They think it was really positive and impactful. And they've even asked me about doing it every year. And you know, I think like people expressed their gratitude who got to attend. And we got it through, and it was a lovely event. So it's not like, that's my thing in this industry, is like it's not a if this then that type of deal. Like we're like, no, why we can't have that every year? You know what I'm saying? And why we can't do this event over here is like, it was just kind of a stepping stone, because that's what's happened at every other, like at least at the professional, you know, it's all types of events and get-togethers and all of that stuff that happen, and, you know, companies sponsoring events, but, you know, nobody's required the companies that we use on a day-to-day basis to do anything outside of support influencers and kind of like, you know, that's it pretty much.
Right.
Fair exchange, no rivalry type of deal.
If everybody elevates, who loses? We all go together. Rise and tide, raise our ships, iron and serpents, all of the quotes you want to, but like, listen, if Super Colors making money, or if Heat Transfer Warehouse, if Heat Press Nation, if like they are, all these different companies, all of these companies do something very, very well. Mm-hmm. And right. What I'm here to do is to highlight that, right? Like that's what I looked at myself as. That's what I wanted to do, because I operate like a regular, real print shop. I use Gildan, I use Bella Canvas, I use Next Level, because everybody has something different. Mm-hmm. And why we can't just highlight, you know, like the things in the industry, is no way that I can operate in the constraints of like, man, you can't talk about that. You can't talk about that. Okay, well, okay, look, I'll do that. Fine. Well, what content are you guys going to now allow me to do? Because I can't talk about 1,500 different products over here. So how much content can you feed me? How deep are you willing to go into this partnership? And what are you willing to do to like keep me away from that? You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like one of those double-edged swords, where it's like, what I'm saying is, if the company's making the money, they're buying products, they're helping the consumer make money, they're helping them gain into their education, they're teaching them, they're doing a lot more, they're being a part of the community. And then us influencers, everybody's going in the middle, everybody's going up.
Right.
Who loses at this standpoint? I don't know who loses. And there's so many influencers doing great things. There's so many people with like small ones, big ones, all types, right? I think there needs to be a threshold on the level of like, you know, commitment, the work that you put in. I think people want it fast, and I'm not saying you can't get it fast, but you got to come out here and do something different. You got to come out here and be fucking great. And if you're great, the numbers will reflect themselves. I don't have a fast track. I knew early on that Rich from Hustle Ninja should pass me because his content was amazing, the quality, what he was doing. I went and have a conversation. I ain't got nothing to do with that man's success.
Right.
But I'm just watching like, man, everybody has something different to bring to the table. And me, I'm a marketer at its core.
Yeah. I would say a great one at that. Bella Canvas is the next Amazon and will be surpassing Gildan in 2023.
All right, man. Yeah. So that came from Bella Canvas's Chris Bakesley at his own mouth at the Print Hustlers conference in Chicago last year. And it's like, man, to think about like me referencing them to Amazon or something like that is like, think about it. Gildan made our underwear. Like growing up, our t-shirts. So like they've been around forever and ever. And if you look at like companies that just stay the same, stay in their pocket, they do the same thing. They doing some great stuff. They own a bunch of brands, but there's no fresh new innovation. They're not out to freaking understand what people really, really want. They just deliver a product. Again, this is my opinion for at least how I see it. And I'm moving and attending all of this stuff. But this is the perception. So if you don't go in and try to freshen up and understand from a different perspective, you leave room for a smaller company. It's always going to be the case, right? Things are going to trend based on different processes and just different things that go into the equation, right? So to look at a company that is so young, again, for them to be even in the conversation of passing. I don't know if they're going to pass them or not, but just to have that statement go out, like, that's amazing. Yeah, because they weren't around when we was wearing them tighty whitey draws from Gildan and stuff like that. They just weren't around.
Right.
Yeah. How do you think that's going to impact the industry as a whole?
I mean, it's positive because they all got unique characteristics, right? Like the blanks that Bella make are not the same as the blanks that Gildan make, in my opinion. While they are competitors, but you think about like a Gildan shirt and a Bella Canvas shirt, they're not even in the same category. Yeah. And most of us think that we got to go with the cheaper product in order to make money, but you can make more with less off of the more expensive product because of, just certain things that go into making it. And I think like companies who invest back into the community, I think you win. And I think that's like the perfect example of like invest, like the stuff that they're working on. And I hope that like in my eyes, my whole mission in like going out and going wherever it takes to get the content and meet the people and the information is to bring you guys, even if you can't physically get the information or go to see it, you get to experience it through the computer. Now, I hope to be able to take people with me. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because the happy hour for Bella Canvas was my idea, 1,000%. I don't think anybody would dispute that, right? But, they sent me a flyer first, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I need to make a new one, right? So nobody's seen the original flyer, right? Because it said Stan Banks. Then it was like other guests, I think Gary and John Santos. And I'm like, no, we ain't doing that, right? Like, I want to know every person who creates content that is here. Who are the big names that are here at this conference? Everybody's coming. And everybody's going to have an equal position or equal say, because I believe this is about community. This event ain't about me. This is about giving people some of the stuff that I go to and I experience at all of these. Like I've been to other happy hours and I kind of felt like I'm in place, but I'm out of place at the same time because, like I screen printed. I started there. That's at my core. But over here is what I like, the content and the stuff that I'm passionate about helping us get started, and I'm growing with the people, right? So I got to keep growing as well. But like, why, when I used to go, I attended Impressions Expo for years, bro, like since 2011 probably, right? Maybe 12. And I would go there and I would come home, or I would go there, I would stay the night. It's nothing to do. And you experienced this when you came out, right, Mike? Like, it's nothing to do. But there's something to do for everybody else. Like it's nothing to these, like, listen, they doing what they supposed to do, and not commend them, but it needs to be a model for other companies that are doing stuff like Rock and Ryan Ed, and they've been doing like, they ain't got to pay Coolio or this performer to come and entertain people. That stuff that's not about like a ROI. It's about having a good time, investing back in the community, building relationships. You'll be surprised at how much money I hear being exchanged in the crowd at these events. Forget the speakers that are giving great information, just for meeting people and establishing relationships, and it's different we doing it over the internet, but it's a little bit different in person to man, they sharing jobs, they flying out to see each other, they like up and down, like they helping people up, they helping people that's below them as well, like they're conversing and doing things at every single level. And why shouldn't we have that?
Real networking.
So we've been following you for years, and we've seen you coming out the mud, and now we've seen like Stan Banks T-shirt side hustle is a brand, is an entity, a staple in this industry. Why did you not stick with yourself? Why was the industry as a whole so important to you?
Because at the core of who I am is like, bro, I really just want to help people. You know what I'm saying? Like I know how much money, I'm in a print shop right now, I invested into this shop. I don't even have enough time to like really devote to it. So I kind of came up with a new plan. But I know how much, if I just came here and I didn't make content, or I just made content the way I used to make content, like I know how much money I can make. Mm-hmm. Selling shirts locally. I don't know the internet based, like I kind of know how to do brands and market and stuff like that. I don't know like the internet way of doing stuff, but around here locally, I know how, like I still got jobs coming in. It's shirts all around here that are being done. I'm only taking big orders now and I'm facilitating. I just left my embroidery. Y'all know I got to run to my embroiderer. And then, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of different ways that you can maneuver in this industry, and not one way is wrong. And it changes over time based on what you want. Listen, y'all get tired of doing vinyl. I was rocking with people, teaching you how to do vinyl, making money. We was making money. We still making money with it. And if you're still getting into it, you can still make money. But there's other ways, and you're going to have other things. But I think that's a huge point in learning. Listen, I came in screen printing. Screen printers would not touch vinyl with a 12 outside of numbers and stuff. They wouldn't dare do it. But again, I'm not attached to a process. I'm attached to the end result. And I didn't come in here to say, yo, I want to learn to be the most skilled printer in the world. I'm trying to get people products, bro. I got this shirt on right now, this print right here, and I got a Print World shirt on from King Tilly, who works for Rock. I forgot what his job title is, bro, but I got this. I was on live. This is Print World shirt. Go check him out. Check out his podcast. He be doing some dope stuff too, but he works with Rock. And they sent me this. He sent me both of these. And I'm admiring the print. Like, bro, I ain't seen a print this smooth in years. I'm sitting on live like, yo, look at this jaw. Like, bro, like I might have to go buy a Rock because this, like, I'm a fan of the industry. I'm a fan of learning. I'm a fan of helping people. You know what I mean? I think that's at the core of what I do. So it's like, you know, bro, it takes like, if you take this away, I can come right here in the shop, print shirts and market my business and do all of that stuff. But it was always a one-man show. I don't know how to build a business. Like, I know how to build a job and understand what I'm saying. I own my own business. I had to sell shirts to survive. A lot of people at companies can't even relate. They don't know what these struggles are. But I took them back to the fundamentals of like, man, if I ain't have nothing and I needed to make money, this is what I would do. And I've done a lot of different hustles, and I can stand firm and say, this is the one that I would get into. You know what I'm saying? And the people that I met, the stories that you hear from what's going into this stuff is amazing, because they all got similar stories. They can be as high up in this process as they want to. And if they one of those people who want to seem holier than thou, like they know it all, if you take them back down to their core, it is some basic bare bottom story. You know what I'm saying? That got them here. I wasn't even trying to sell shirts, bro. I was trying to market my photography business. I wasn't trying to sell shirts. You know what I'm saying? Some people was rock bands. Some people might have like traded they screen printers, or they got this type of shop, whatever the case is.
You opened up the platform for smaller creators, and you also mentioned that you can bring them up to par with the industry standard. I just gotta ask for us, what did you see in Seak and I to bring us to the TSH Network?
You know, so man, like I think for me, it's about like steps in the journey, right? And I've always tried to identify people doing good things, man. And it's subjective, you know what I'm saying? But put the work in. And You know what I mean? And as I watch people put the work in, bro, I comment on like people with like 2 videos that like, where you at? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm paying attention to what's going on in the industry, and because I see value in everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I see and I position, and then like I know what it is that I'm working for. And I said it's to help people. You know what I'm saying? It was to help people start t-shirt businesses. Now it's to help people who making content. Tomorrow it might be something else. As long as I feel like that fulfills me, I'll figure out how to make money. You know what I'm saying? If I got in a dire need, I know how to come in here and print shirts. You know what I'm saying? And I know how to do some other things, some positive, some not positive. I'm trying to stay in this lane and over here in this bucket. But I always go 100% at whatever it is that I want to do. And I always reserve the right to change my mind. People want to put you in a box. You can't do nothing else, bro. You need to make YouTube videos. That's all you know how to do. You're a YouTuber. Oh, you're a security guard. You need to stay a security guard. If you ain't have YouTube, you'll still be a security guard. If you ain't doing this, and it's all fine. Whatever you want to say is fine. But at the end of the day, are you putting the work in to better yourself? And what does bettering yourself mean to you? Nobody else can, you know what I'm saying? Like you can say and do or have whatever it is that you want. One thing I can tell you is my intentions are very, very pure. You know what I'm saying? I come at everybody with pure intentions. My delivery may be off. The things that I say may be a little bit, foul, or, I'm saying foul meaning curse. I may curse a little bit. And I understand if I'm not for everybody. But like, right. Come on, bro. I got people calling companies and all types of stuff. I'm just like, I tell them the same thing I'm telling you. Bro, I am who I am. If you don't want to attach yourself to who I am and what ain't nothing hidden on my channel. And tomorrow I might go on a rant because somebody did something crazy. It may be your company. But if we got a relationship, I can handle things like, all right, boom, it's done. We're going to fix it, right? But like, right. I'm not out to down and trash companies and stuff like that. So when you say, what did I see in you guys? It's like, bro, I see the work. I see the work being put in, and I understand the complexity and difficulty of it, right? And if I can help you guys do it, it's not about bringing you guys onto the network. It's I want to turn it into a network. I was going to turn it into a network around me. I was going to become like 5-7 different segments, and I got no problem doing it, right? Get me somebody around me, get a studio set up, do the news. I'm just testing stuff. Yeah, like I'm just testing this stuff out. But I see lanes where people are doing great things, man. I can you can name the person. I can tell you something that they do great. People who like me and who don't like me. I don't even it ain't like I don't care.
Yeah, first, man, thank you for the invite. Thank you for bringing that out, brother. It's
really appreciate that.
Humbling.
Nah, man. Listen, I welcome you guys to T-Shirt Side Hustle, man. I think turn it into a network again. It's like, bro, the Google ad revenue, bro. I'm gonna tell you the truth. That's going out to editors. You already seen the work that get. You know what I mean? It's not that being a YouTuber in its entirety, you can get to a point where you make good money. But I always look back, bro. It took me 3 years to get a dime, and I ain't really start making no money until 5 years into it. 4.5 years into it, and I didn't get into it to do that. We had this conversation off camera a bunch of times. So it's like, man, like, I'm gonna make money however I need to make money to take care of my family. No matter what I'm doing, it has to happen. It's not even like it has to happen. And I feel very, very fortunate, and that's why I let people in a little bit more on my family. Like people ask for chunks before, like I'm at the show, like, man, like, no, hey, impressions. Y'all need to allow me to bring chunks to the show for one day. You know what I'm saying? People want to see her. They greeted me with where's Chunks? Why you didn't bring the baby? Like y'all don't know, y'all can't say 12 and up or something like. But I'll bring her if they let me.
Yeah. So I want to double back to the industry. I'm gonna double back to the industry. So we got big creators, we got smaller creators. What can smaller creators do to bridge the gap and contribute to furthering this industry?
Bro, keep working. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, study your craft. Keep working and just keep putting out content, bro. I don't got like I think by growing your platform, by being true to who you are and sharing your story, you will inspire somebody else. That's it, man. Every video reaches one person. that was like my goal. I'm thinking back to when I started, bro. I don't know, you know what I'm saying, what the secret success formula is in like as a YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? All I know is I got here from being consistent. All I did was turn the camera on and I showed people what I was doing every single day. And you wonder why I don't make tutorials, because I'm not making tutorials. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm looking at doing other things, and now I kind of like reposition myself after I'm actually trying to hire somebody. And one lady came in, she's kind of overqualified, and I'm like, damn, she's the perfect person. But she applied for like a position that, like, man, why would you apply for this position? But I see the potential. So I'm trying to get her back because she got a different skill set that I think if I invest into her, I can, you know, then, but I know it takes multiple people to do what I'm doing. Like now, because I got 2 separate businesses, right? And my time is consumed here. So I need to I need to do something different, right? And I said, I know what it looks like when you're running a shop. So can I put together a shop that isn't, can I show you guys how to run a shop that doesn't require me to work? Can I show you guys now how to build a print business? You feel what I'm saying? And like that comes from more expensive equipment and all types of stuff, right? And I got a little bit of leverage. Obviously, when you build a platform, you put the work in, you establish connections, you work with companies, you provide value. You know what I'm saying? You get certain things. So, you know, I may be able to get supported, but who cares if a company gives me a piece of equipment or not, right? Like I can go buy whatever the hell I want, right? But what does that do for anybody? Doesn't matter. Can I show you that making an investment into whatever machine and heat press it is, can I show you that it will make you money? Can I show you how to build a business around that you don't have to slave in every single day? You can get employees. Man, listen, you want to know what responsibilities are? Like having kids is responsibilities. Sure. Having a business and hiring somebody and then hiring somebody that has kids, you want to talk about like who eats last? Like it's been weeks where I didn't pay myself because now I'm trying to grow and I'm hiring people. It's been weeks where it get a little tight. Who's not going to eat? I got to pay you. I'm responsible for you and my family now. So it's like, just imagine, like I never understood kind of like these big companies, the mindset behind it. But like, imagine making a decision like during the pandemic, nobody wanted to fire nobody. You didn't do nothing wrong. The company didn't do nothing wrong. But imagine having to go through that process where like you got to lay off your employees or you can't pay them through the pandemic. And like, it's a hardship. And they look at it like, oh man, you're a big company, you got all this money. But man, listen, some of these companies is turning over money to invest back into the business and to the employees. And like, so who eats last? I learned something very, very like, and again, as I go have these conversations, the stuff that I can talk about, I talk about the stuff that I can't, but I have conversations that's different. Like, what's the ultimate goal? Have you ever imagined selling a business? Right. Do you know, or did you believe that like somebody like Mark Cuban would invest into a screen printing shop? Like, did you even know that was possible? I can tell you, I don't. Yeah. Like, I didn't like, bro, this is bananas. And this is stuff that I dreamed about, but I always feel like, yo, I used to say this, like, yo, I should be giving TED Talks, but I'd rather talk to TED, right? Like, we work in a very, very small niche of people. But if we not lifting each other and we not lifting companies that are down for the same cause, and we're not lifting the community and what we're doing, then what are we really doing here? That's just the way that I look at it, because only at our level is it this or that, right? Only here is it like you got to be over here or you got to be over there, pick a side. Like at every other level, bro, it's flat out embroidery companies. It's flat out screen print companies. They are sharing work with the guy down the street. Wow. But then it's oversaturated. Oh my gosh, everybody wants to, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, no, you just want it easy. You want the fast track. You want to get on YouTube tomorrow and have a company pay you 10 grand for a video, and you want it. You want the fast track. It's no different. I'm telling you, all of this stuff is trend. It goes from one thing to the next. You want a ready-made print shop. You don't want to have to build no brand. You don't want to have to do any of the work. You want to get on YouTube and you want to just jump to the front of the line and blow up out of it. It's just the mindset of what we want today, and the government ain't helping. And we can go into a whole other conversation, but like people don't want to work at all. You know, like damn, you can't like minimum wage. I don't know what's minimum wage where y'all at. You in LA, California, so it's 15, right?
The Oregon is I think 13.75.
What's yours, Mike?
13 now.
I think I'm gonna be honest, and I could be wrong. Ours is probably still like 8.50, 9.25. You can't find somebody to work for $15 an hour.
Yeah,
that's sad.
And I gotta check this, but like I ain't paying attention. But every time I say this question, like ask my around, like still like nobody knows like 9.25 or something. They just know they wouldn't work for it. So whatever it is, they know they ain't working for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it. So when you're a smaller content creator, just build your platform, man. Just be yourself. You know what I'm saying? And whatever that may be, man. Like I think there's a different case for everybody. Some people should get down with one company and just ride it out because that's the type of person they are, and different things like that. I feel like walking the road that I'm walking, man, it's getting harder and harder to kind of like understand and like having to walk away from contracts, man. I'm talking about like $72,000 contracts and different things like that. Like, nah, I'm not doing that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like just different cases and like we talking about a lot of money. I'm just throwing numbers out there, 50 grand, 30 grand. We're talking about large numbers of like, you know, having to make sure that you figure out, you know, what companies are aligned with what you got going on and what's not. Like, how do I get something out of this too? I understand what you want and I can help you do that. But what can I do? You know, what can you do for myself? What can you do for the community? You know, like what is it that you're providing, right? Like, I'm not about to get into y'all company beefs. I'm not like, I don't care where they shop. They can go here or here. It's up to them. You know what I'm saying? What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the great things that you do well. That's just my stance. It doesn't have to be everybody's stance. This is probably like the hardest stance. But like, in all honesty, we just working. You know what I'm saying? Like, why does it kind of have to be that way? So if you're a smaller content creator, just keep creating content, man. Stay yourself. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that you do it well. And I think if you do it consistent enough, it'll pay off.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I just looked it up. It's 10.50 over there right now.
So I wouldn't even know that. But I can't get nobody to work for $15 an hour. That's $5 more than minimum wage.
Yeah, that's
for a job with you know. How much more should I pay? 20? Sheesh. And I'm not even opposed to it. Just come on in here and work.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy that the minimum wage is that low. Like,
it's slowly gonna climb. So you've been paid to do videos before? Have you been paid to do videos?
I've been paid, you know. Matter of fact, you asked it, so you probably. But bro, I only been paid to do 2 pieces of content. Like payment up front, make content for this amount of dollars, right? And it's crazy because you look at my platform and the stuff that I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you send me a product. If I like it, I make a video. Like I just took them hats home, but I got some hats. Now, does that mean we're not going to talk business on the backside of this? Of course we're going to talk business. I got a platform now, right? Like I told you guys, I'm running kind of like separate businesses. And even this is like, it's done turned into like 3, 4, 5 different little like pockets of income or whatever the case is. So, you know, like I ain't saying we ain't going to talk business and I'm not going to make money. We all out here to make money or whatever it is that we doing. I didn't know this was possible in the beginning. I didn't know this is where it would take me, but I'm learning right now. Like, bro, I done pay for consultations and all types of stuff to figure out what the hell this is. Like, what is the best practice for doing what I'm doing? And while I'm learning, I'm trying to help other people learn. So right back to the core of what I'm about, I'm trying to also create opportunity for other people because I see the talent and I understand really at its core what this is all about, right? And I think like if the way that I look at it, at least, you know, you don't have to look at it the same way. We can be in competition and all of that stuff. It's perfectly fine however you want to look at it. But like, bro, I don't care. like, you know, I'm like I said already, I'm fortunate in my opinion to be making money doing what I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? And I would do it for free. And that's just kind of been my nature. I coached football for years before I ever coached on college football team and got paid for it. You know what I'm saying? I was coaching, running around in the summers while I was playing, coaching high schoolers while I was playing in college and traveling and doing all of this stuff. And then eventually I figured out how to make money at it. Don't mean like I'm a hustler, so I'm going to do something. I'm doing photography, fixing computers, doing whatever I need to do, building websites. All of these things that I was doing kind of like prime me up to do what I'm doing right now.
As far as advice, say you are a vinyl person and you're doing a lot of vinyl, and that's all the companies see you as is that vinyl person. How do you get up out of that situation, even if you're making other content that has nothing to do with vinyl?
I mean, you got to make, like, for me, you got to make content based on what you're doing, right? Like, it's so much more I can show people how to make money doing, bro. Like, and it's not even like far away, you know what I'm saying? But I had to be doing, I'm not out looking for the next big topic, right? That's going to get me a ton of views. So it's a little bit of a different model, right? Like, even all of the consultations that I got, they like, yo, you should just make beginner content because that's where your views are going to come from. But I'm not chasing views, I'm chasing impact. So, like, you make the content that you see fit. You got to make it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when company come to me and like the companies on my list of companies that I would love to work with, that I don't work with, and I got a list of companies that I do work with, right? I know how I can impact every company, right? I'm gonna make the content, right? I'm gonna make the content anyway, because I'm my core. I'm just bringing people information. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make the content. If I like it, I'm gonna make it anyway. So the deals come on the backside of it, right? So like, bro, if you want to make content, go make the content. And this is where I'm talking about support. Wouldn't it feel good if, like, man, like, I don't need, people ask me all the time, which heat press do you prefer? And I would appreciate the truth. Well, is this a good press because you're using this one now? And I'm like, everything I tell y'all is my opinion. It's my truth. I don't give a hell what heat press you buy.
Right.
And now that I've touched so many, I can come up with my list. And it'll be the most unique list because I've touched pretty much every heat press that hasn't just been painted another color under like $1,200.
Yeah.
And before I even made these reviews, I've touched the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had them all. So now I can give you guys a true list. Not just some, you search heat presses, they got 5 Amazon heat presses that they tested. Yeah, listen, bro, I make money off every company. Okay, what's your point? Every company. I don't got no discrimination to what company that I can do business with. If I like you, we got a good relationship, we can talk about it. We can do business together. We can create content together. Help me. Help you. You know what I'm saying? At the very, very bottom of what it is that's going on. So, you know, I look at like creating content around a specific thing, bro. Nobody told me to go review all these heat presses. Nobody went this deep into heat presses. They can go now. You know what I'm saying? Nobody went that deep into heat presses. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. What I'm gonna do next? Do I want to go get a Cricut cutter and do it all of? Do I want to review all of it? You know, it's funny because I thought I wanted to review all of the vinyl cutters, but I'm like, bro, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I might want to go review all of this, or I might want to go do go make the content that you think your community wants. That's all I've done. And some stuff that I can't do, like they want me to make more vinyl videos. I'm like, bro, go watch my old ones. They still true. You can just, like, I want to do a Throwback Thursday day. Would I be cheating if I did a Throwback Thursday day? Yes, no. But my old content when I was doing the work is still fucking valuable. So what y'all want me to remake that shit? Y'all want me to spend my time to remake it, or you don't want to go and do the work to get to it? So now if I put out a course, you're gonna complain because I'm charging for a course that got everything lined up from A to Z. But if I gave y'all a free course with all my old content, it'll be like, man, damn, how do I win in this? Like, you get what I'm like, as a content creator, how do I win in this situation? Now I done got this, I done built this platform up out the mud for years and years of work, and they want to act like I never screen printed. Oh man, I didn't know you did. For real, you did that? I didn't know you, I thought you was this. Bro, you never even had a conversation with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much of my content did you watch? You know what I'm saying? If you look at it, and I look at like other content creators and like how they take clips out of what you say and they position it for content. It's a great fucking marketing scheme. I'm a marketer at my core, right? But like, it's a great marketing scheme. But at the same time, do you do your due diligence? And bro, if you don't agree with what I say or how I say it, then who the hell cares? You could be completely right. Hey, bro, you perfect to use a DTF printer. You should. No, 1000%. If it fits your business. Who the hell am I to tell you wrong? You know what I'm saying? It's not one way to do this. There's not one company has one transfer. Not one company has one vinyl.
Right. Say you are a vinyl person and you're doing a lot of vinyl, and that's all the companies see you as is that vinyl person. How do you get up out of that situation, even if you're making other content that has nothing to do with vinyl?
I mean, you got to make, like, for me, you got to make content based on what you're doing, right? Like, it's so much more I can show people how to make money doing, bro. Like, and it's not even like far away, you know what I'm saying? But I had to be doing, I'm not out looking for the next big topic, right? That's going to get me a ton of views. So it's a little bit of a different model, right? Like, even all of the consultations that I got, they like, yo, you should just make beginner content because that's where your views are going to come from. But I'm not chasing views, I'm chasing impact. So like, you make the content that you see fit. You got to make it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when company come to me and like the companies on my list of companies that I would love to work with, that I don't work with, and I got a list of companies that I do work with, right? I know how I can impact every company, right? I'm gonna make the content, right? I'm gonna make the content anyway, because I'm at my core, I'm just bringing people information. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make the content. If I like it, I'm gonna make it anyway. So the deals come on the backside of it, right? So like, bro, if you want to make content, go make the content. And this is where I'm talking about support. Wouldn't it feel good if like, man, like I don't need, people ask me all the time, which heat press do you prefer? And I would appreciate the truth. Well, is this a good press because you're using this one now? And I'm like, everything I tell y'all is my opinion. It's my truth. I don't give a hell what heat press you buy.
Right.
And now that I've touched so many, I can come up with my list. And it'll be the most unique list because I've touched pretty much every heat press that hasn't just been painted another color under like $1,200.
Yeah.
And before I even made these reviews, I've touched the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had them all. So now I can give you guys a true list. Not just some, you search heat presses, they got 5 Amazon heat presses that they tested. Yeah, listen, bro, I make money off every company. Okay, what's your point? Every company. I don't got no discrimination to what company that I can do business with. If I like you, we got a good relationship, we can talk about it. We can do business together. We can create content together. Help me. Help you. You know what I'm saying? At the very, very bottom of what it is that's going on. So, you know, I look at like creating content around a specific thing, bro. Nobody told me to go review all these heat presses. Nobody went this deep into heat presses. They can go now. You know what I'm saying? Nobody went that deep into heat presses. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. What I'm gonna do next? Do I want to go get a Cricut cutter and do I want to review all of it? You know, it's funny because I thought I wanted to review all of the vinyl cutters, but I'm like, bro, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I might want to go review all of this, or I might want to go do like go make the content that you think your community wants. That's all I've done. And some stuff that I can't do, like they want me to make more vinyl videos. I'm like, bro, go watch my old ones. They still true. You can just like I want to do a Throwback Thursday day. Would I be cheating if I did a Throwback Thursday day? Yes, no. But my old content when I was doing the work is still fucking valuable. So what y'all want me to remake that shit? Y'all want me to spend my time to remake it, or you don't want to go and do the work to get to it? So now if I put out a course, you're gonna complain because I'm charging for a course that got everything lined up from A to Z. But if I gave y'all a free course with all my old content, it'll be like, man, damn, how do I win in this? Like, you get what I'm like, as a content creator, how do I win in this situation? Now I done built this platform up out the mud for years and years of work, and they want to act like I never screen printed. Oh man, I didn't know you did. For real, you did that? I didn't know you. I thought you was this. Bro, you never even had a conversation with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much of my content did you watch? You know what I'm saying? If you look at it, and I look at like other content creators and like how they take clips out of what you say and they position it for content. It's a great fucking marketing scheme. I'm a marketer at my core, right? But like, it's a great marketing scheme. But at the same time, do you do your due diligence? And bro, if you don't agree with what I say or how I say it, then who the hell cares? You could be completely right. Hey, bro, you perfect to use a DTF printer. You should. No, 1000%. If it fits your business. Who the hell am I to tell you wrong? You know what I'm saying? It's not one way to do this. There's not one company has one transfer. Not one company has one vinyl.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how many different t-shirt blank brands they are, and they all, they gonna fit for certain situations. You think these people out here are spending millions of dollars in fucking product to because they don't think that they have they provide somebody value?
Good.
Well said.
Make the content you want to make, man. That's it. Go make it. If people rock with it, then they gonna let you know. And if they don't rock with it, keep making it.
Yeah.
Because how do you know they don't rock with it? Look, I just told you my old videos is the best videos. Them joints hold true today. They straight to the point, 5 minutes, no fluff, no 30-second intro off of iPhone 5 or 6 or something like that, propped up on a box in a t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like in the trenches every day doing it. Yeah. And I get back in here, like, bro, I got a crazy schedule coming up. And Saturday, I'm probably gonna have to pull an all-nighter pressing up some baseball jerseys, 90 baseball jerseys, split in the middle, front, back, name. I'm gonna have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think I'm gonna complain? Like, it's nothing. It's shit like riding a bike.
Yep.
Good. So how do you deal with people sending you product that you don't like or agree with? What's the solution?
Yeah, without like getting up and showing you, bro, I get product all the time, bro. And I look at it and I just give them my honest opinion. And if I don't like it, it'll never make the channel. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, my mindset, I could go the complete opposite route if they want me to. Like, y'all want me to just go and bash, like, yo, this sucks, that sucks, this sucks. I don't like call out certain companies or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? I just much rather just talk about it from a positive angle. Now, if a company does something to one of you guys that I don't like is foul and they not trying to do the right thing and all of that stuff, I will talk about certain things in that instance. But in general, I'm not out to talk trash about companies, right? And you got to think my relationship with Belly Canvas, how it started, right? And I didn't even get my mask yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You think about Caesar, right? Caesar, Belly Canvas through the happy hour, right? Mm-hmm. Caesar is investing into Made to Hustle. They're sponsoring it, which means they're going to be also scholarshiping to people to not have to pay the ticket to go, but just travel to get there and stay or whatever the case is. But they're going to be sponsoring people to come to the event, right? And what I'm saying is, today it seems like you can't have a disagreement. You can't talk about it. So after I get off of these phone calls with the tops of their companies, they like, man, I don't even understand. Like, like I thought this was going to go completely different than what it's going right now because it's not personal. You know what I'm saying? And if I approach, that's how I approach it. Right now, when a you give them the feedback, that's one, right? You give them feedback, or if you don't, like, just say, yeah, nah. I get a million emails. Y'all going to start getting more and more emails the bigger you get. You look at it, say, hey, man, I flat out would say, I don't really see how your product fits my platform. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can explain it to me, I can see a fit. You know what I'm saying? But usually the way that I'm thinking about talking about a company, you know what I'm saying? The first important thing was the sponsors, right? Now you got to look at the facility, right? And, I could have like got a hotel. I could have bought a few people here or something like that. But like Made Lab and what the guys over there at Made Lab are doing, which is headed by Brett Bowden, which he owns Printed Threads, Ryan Moore, which formerly created RyanNet, screenprinting.com, now running with Rock, and All Made Blank Company, which is out of Haiti, which I'm actually about to visit their factory. I say out of Haiti. I'm going to Honduras. And then the last person over there is Tom Davenport, who had a print shop, which I heard he no longer has it, but it was like the most immaculately clean print shop you could ever see in your life. I wish I got a chance to see it because I know how dirty they can get. I don't know how clean they can be, right? But, so those three guys and what they're trying to do is they're about community and about information and about they're testing a lot of stuff. So they got a lot of the equipment that you get to actually see and use at this event all under one roof, the state-of-the-art equipment. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of this goes into knowing what's possible. Like we always look, man, I can't afford that. But no, how can I afford that? You know what I'm saying? Or, man, what business does that Rock Auto machine actually, like, what size of business? And how does that business operate? Like, that's the information that I'm trying to go get. And that's the information that they're like, that's what you're getting access to. Not only is there all of this stuff under the roof of this place with all of the latest equipment, the oval rock press, auto manuals, screens that burn themselves with lights and all the latest stuff. Across the street is Printed Thread. So if you like it, I had never seen a print shop in person and live with 5 autos. I remember I walked into a shop in New Jersey that had 13 autos. I ain't never seen nothing like this. But how do you know it's possible? How do you know what is out there if you don't get to experience it? Like most of us will never get to experience it. So to be able to come here, to be able to get hands-on with this equipment, this conference, and every year I want to change it and bring different influencers and stuff like that. So I definitely don't want it to be a one-off thing. But man, I think it's important for people to come out and support myself, Rich, Hustle Ninjas, Alan Wade. I'm pretty sure some more people. We got, like I said, we got some scholarships. I want the companies to actually be present in the building so you can actually meet the people and have conversations with them and just come out and learn. And I want to do some other speakers as well and some different things that, like, really modeling after Print Hustlers, which I thought was like put on so well. And again, it's about community. So like the conversations are like things I want to hear from you guys out there. Like, what do you guys want to see? What do you guys want to know about? And I think we need to learn some things about the back end and like setting up a business and how to scale and grow and, some other people that can speak to us and show us what's possible, who has stories that may be able to inspire us and show you that like you can take this thing a lot further. And I think those guys supply that, this building supplies that. And obviously the influencers that are going to be a part of it are that. And it's not that I wanted to leave anybody out. Next year, I want to bring Brando out. I want to bring, Reyes out and John Santos and different people out to just, I've learned in my travels and that just meeting people is important. You know what I'm saying? And like where can we sit down and we learn and go for a weekend and like invest into ourselves and really get some industry knowledge and people like to understand like, man, I've learned so much beyond printing about just business and growth and, you know, like so much stuff that I'm saying like, man, more people need to know the story of like, man, Bella, you guys, why do you guys dye everything is in LA? You know, it's more expensive. Like, what is the initiative behind that? And you know what I'm saying? It's like just some of the things that I think are fascinating that people understood. You wouldn't be complaining about a shirt being $3.80 or raising 25 cents, bro. You should be paying like freaking $50 for these shirts. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? The fact that we're able to buy them wholesale for $4.80 or whatever blank you decide, insert blank here. You know, the fact that you're able to purchase them at that price, man. Listen, everybody want to talk about American jobs and made in America and all of that stuff until it's time to spend that money. Right. That made in America difference. You know what I'm saying? That $2, $3 a shirt difference that you have to pay. And you know what I'm saying? So like, let's have these conversations. Let's talk about this stuff. Nobody want to talk about it because it's not going to get views. It's fine. I'll talk about it. Hey, i.e. TSH News. Make the content you want to make. I hear about it. I can have a conversation. I can share my opinion. I invite you guys to tag along. Share your opinion. You know what I'm saying? Comment in the comments.
So do you feel like with the Made to Hustle event, do you feel like you're setting a standard for these trade shows moving forward with some of your ideas?
No, that's a completely separate mission. Like, right? Like, I mean, I think they're waking up to the power that we have now. Like, if you just pay attention to how I'm moving, like really moving, like I'm setting it up. And like, when I talk about like, man, hey, content creator, I see your value. Like, I see the value in everybody. So like, when I get an opportunity, like, no, everybody's coming. You know, like, bro, like everybody else can come too. Why not? You know, you look at what Ink Kitchen is doing on their free platform. And listen, I understand you want it. Everybody wants to get paid, but bro, I travel on my own dime to all of these shows. All of them. I speak on a free platform. So like, listen, I ain't saying you shouldn't go get paid and do a class at Impressions and make money off of it. I ain't saying you can't run about that business model. I'm just telling you that like, for me, it's a lot bigger than that. And, you know, and then fortunately, Rick over there, you know, after I did it a few times and we had good, man, they getting the best crowds that they've ever had at these talks. You know what I'm saying? And it's about sprinkling in some of the new people with new ideas and viewpoints. And then some of the people who got seasoned veteran years into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got asked a question. I took offense to it. And you guys are going to see it. But I took offense to it. It's like, how long did you think you needed to get how much knowledge did you, something along the lines of like, basically, when did you feel like you was worthy to teach pretty much? Mm-hmm. And I was like, I kind of got offended and I'm like, it's a response I got to type back. So I'm like, first I had to be like, yo, are they serious? Are they trying to play me right now? And I was like, you know what? Let me not even approach it like that. Let me just tell my truth. Man, I didn't think I was qualified to teach nobody. All I did was show people what I was doing every day. The shit could have been completely wrong. But at the core of what I was doing, I was feeding my family. I was selling t-shirts to survive. And it was working. Yeah. So much so that I seen the value that I thought anybody could fucking do it. So I made content. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know this is where I would end up. You know what I'm saying? And we just sat back and I'm like, I'm along for the ride. People call me, I think you should come here. And I'm like, okay, book the flight. Let's go. Where we going? We're going to Honduras? All right, cool. They try to have me leave the next day. And I'm like, when's everybody else leaving? They like on the 4th. I'm like, well, listen, I don't care where y'all send me to, but y'all send me back to America. So I'm perfect. I will go anywhere and do anything. But like, yeah, but just get me back to America. I don't care. You can drop me in any state. You can put me anywhere. Put me in Arizona. Put me anywhere. I'm fine. But you ain't about to leave me over here by myself. I go somewhere. I'm like a little, You know what I mean? I haven't looked it up or nothing, but the girls are like, man, it don't look too safe or whatever. I'm like, man, listen, we going, we here. You know what I'm saying? Whatever may happen, may happen. Catch me on the go.
Yeah, for sure. So before we move on to some other subjects, man, I want to know, in all the stuff you've done since in these last 4 or 5 years or whatever, have you come to, and the controversy that people, the haters and that type of deal, have you been at a point where you just want to say, you just want to quit? And if so, how have you overcome that?
I mean, I had periods where I disappeared. Like, I had a period where I kind of like, I was actually depressed, but it was more like personal. You know what I'm saying? Like, it took me a while to even come out to say that I was depressed. But like, just, you know, life hits people. You know what I'm saying? And I think like I can deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I just address it head on and made things fall how they may. You know what I'm saying? I'm prepared to go wherever else somebody, but what we doing is not that serious in my opinion. So like, you know, has there been times where I wanted to quit and, you know, like I had conversations? It's like, of course. I mean, you think about like, man, what's the point? Like, what am I doing this for? Like, right. I just want to know why people keep fucking with me, honestly. Like, so I'm literally here to share information. So that's kind of like my flat out viewpoint. Like, why do y'all just keep like, I ain't even saying you dudes is wrong. I'm not even like, I don't even care. You know what I'm saying? So from that viewpoint, it's like, well, what do I do? You know what I mean? Like, I can't be responsible for everybody else, but you know, without the audience, without you guys, without the community, like when I think about that, it outweighs. You know what I'm saying? Like when I say, you know, hey, I'm the same way to you guys as I am to companies. I'm the same exact way. Like I'm talking about real life problems when I sit down with the tops of these companies. You know what I'm saying? Like real life problems, and perspectives and all of that stuff and how we view things. And, you know, do I think like, man, what am I doing this for? But when let's take a look at it, and I want you to weigh the good with the bad and see which one. If the bad outweighs the good, then you gotta walk away from it. If the good outweighs the bad, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, when I go to these shows and so many people walk up to me and they like, I don't ever comment, I don't ever do it, such and such, but like, man, I just want to thank you so much. You know what I'm saying? When people ask for my daughters, or you know, like, is more than, you know, it's deeper. You know what I mean? And I think like I really feel like the community, if I just look at that, it's like, man, I'll never stop doing this. You feel what I'm saying? You know, I will get better at what I do. I get more efficient, and I'm trying to, you know, maybe do some other things and stuff like that. But like, you know, I want to go deep into this message because it'll kind of like be a whole nother 10-minute story. But like, you know, I get messages and stuff that I talked about openly in the past, probably even with you guys. But like, man, like, bro, this is really changing people's lives. Do you know like the impact of what you guys are doing? And it's one thing to hear it, you know what I'm saying? But like to go out, and I'm pretty sure you guys have just started going out, but to go out and to feel it and to be a part of it, and then like, don't look at the people who you talk to every day. Look at the people who don't talk to you. Look at the people who come up to you and like, bro, people walked up to me and like literally spoke to what I was experiencing. Like, bro, I see the growth. Just keep going. You going in the right direction. I know, like, bro, what you mean? I had to like stop. Why'd you say that? Yeah, man, I see what you're working on. I see you trying to grow and trying to figure it out. And I see the battles that you have. And I'm like, bro, I never talked to you a day in my life. But for you to walk up to me and say that, is like, y'all know exactly what the hell is going on. Like, you know, like at some degree, you know what I'm saying? People know, and it's not from the obvious people around me, not for the people I talk to every day. So to feel that love and to get those messages and to have real relationships with people that you impact and you know, it's like, how do you stop? Like, you know, one day I won't do this anymore. Maybe it'll be a platform that other people are doing it on, like what we're trying to experience here. But like, you know, it's like to what degree, like, man, it's just, I don't know, bro. It's a crazy feeling. Like, how do you stop of a sort?
I get it, man. Like both when we went to Long Beach to the Impressions, Mike and I both experienced that. Like to meet people. I don't know. I don't necessarily want to use the word fans, but I can't think of another way to explain it. And even at this level where we're still trying to rise, we felt that, and that energy was just like dope, man, to say the least.
Definitely a humbling feeling.
Yeah.
So saying you mentioned mentors a lot, and it means a lot, that you have the right mentors in your journey as you are growing and you are continuing to do what you do. Being mentored got you into a position to where you can offer consultation. So can you speak on that a little bit?
I mean, like, I really don't even offer consultations, man. I just try to put it all out into the world, man, and let people learn from it. But like the consultations of like just what I realized and understand, and the reason I really don't do consultations and I never wanted to is because, like, bro, I'll give you information for free. Why do you want to pay me? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just really, really hard to like help them now. I was saying 100,000 people, but like 1 million people, one at a time. It's just not attainable. So like, I'm accessible to people. You know what I'm saying? And I hope people forgive me because I like my DMs are crazy and I don't have time. But like, man, I'll get on the phone and I'll call people, and hopefully people, I just try to say, yo, just get to the point, right? Like, I don't have time to figure it out, but like, don't send me, I can't, like, long paragraphs give me anxiety, but I'm accessible, probably the most accessible to anybody. You know what I'm saying? To like the levels that I go to talk to and help people. So like those consultations, man, like I'm gonna do probably pay what you want or whatever the case is when I got time, and I'll sit down like I did one time. I had a great time doing it. But like to me, some of it is about advice and some of it is also about confidence, like giving people the confidence or ideas. And like sometimes I'm connecting people with other people. Like sometimes just about facilitating, the information of like, I don't know the best, but hey, man, listen, I know this guy, on my word, he'll help you. Like, you know what I mean? Or I'll try to make those connections, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But like, again, it's all about community from that standpoint. So for me, it's like not even about paid consultations. It's just about like helping people. But my mentors, I'm sharing the lessons. You know what I'm saying? Like people ask me, man, how can I get in the room? Man, I wish I could do this. Like, bro, I don't even know how I got in the room. You know what I'm saying? I got in the room by doing the work. Like, and maybe one day I would love to take everybody to Belly Canvas. Like, why not? Like, I don't know if I can or can't, but that's the type of things that I think about. And that's about to happen because all the influencers plus a few more people that were a part of the happy hour got invited to go tour Belly Canvas. And I think like when I say like if you pay attention to how I'm really moving, like I'm really trying, even if I can't indirectly, but I already my mindset was to put the top people and what we doing, and even the rest of them, like you're not gonna get to sit down and walk and mingle to with Chris Breaksey from the president of Belly Canvas. You know what I'm saying? Like the facility, the building, and all of the stuff that is around, like you may never get the access to that. But now it's more so about now that these things are happening, we got to be prepared for these situations. Like we have to go with intentions and purpose of extracting. Like some people did at this event, and some people I talked to after, like, yo, you got a product. You sitting with the CEO, the president rather, of Belly Canvas that is about to surpass Gildan in 2023. Do you not understand the mind that is in front of you? So I'm sitting in the hallway at Print Hustlers, and I'm sitting there, and he comes out, and bro, I just went up like, man, great talk. We just start having conversations. We already had kind of like a conversation before, and I start telling my idea. We all want to hold our ideas to be like, I just start telling them my idea right there on the spot. And I wasn't expecting him to say like, I wanted him to be a partial contributor to it. He's like, well, we got it. Wow. Talk to this person in my company. And like, to me, it's like, man, if I never got out of Delaware and I never went to LA and I never got out and went to Chicago and I never put myself at this event to meet these people, like, what would I be doing? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And whatever I may have been doing would have been fine too. But like now it's like when you get in the room with these people, like not being a person that's like taking up all their time, but can you come and have a meaningful conversation and try to understand from their perspective why they don't make 4, 5, and 6 X's, and maybe you can spark, in the conversation, and then maybe what, we can try a little bit harder. Like these are the type of conversations that I'm having, and then things ain't gonna happen overnight, but like things that I've had ideas for have happened a lot faster once I said them to people. You know what I'm saying? And again, I would tell y'all the blueprint. Like I go on lives and just talk about everything I'm trying to do, and I dare somebody to beat me to it.
So at that event, man, I didn't know who he was. And like I was like, he was right here, like, and I
until the end.
Time, like I didn't know who he was, and I dropped the ball on that one.
But no, understand, we wouldn't know who he is.
True.
Right? Like I wouldn't even know who he is. I couldn't put a face to the person I talked to on the phone for over a year, probably.
True.
Wow. So I wouldn't even know who he is. Wow. But now that you know, right? And now, like, some people will know because they got to see that little video, or they're gonna get to see me talk. They hear me talking about the name, and maybe the name will register. You can't put the face with the name, but the gap is gonna be closed a little bit tighter, because maybe one of us is the next president of the next company that is gonna do something to change the industry. Like, think about the rock auto presses. M&R been around forever. Some new kids came on the block, and I'm not saying new kids that people jump companies and form different things and all of that stuff. Kind of like how business works. But like, if you look at the entire, like, it's room. If you got something great, fractals, you can come on the stage with something unique and carved way. If you built for it, you know what I'm saying? Just make something dope, and that's at all levels. Be a dope content creator. Create a dope local print shop. You know what I'm saying? Create a dope product that we can all use. Substandards. Create. It goes on and on and on and on and on. You know what I'm saying? At this point, it becomes about sharing content, so that for me, it's like, man, like, why don't you know that that's Chris? Why didn't I know that that's this person? Like, why not go to the tops of these companies? Like, I think about like Pro World, right? And his dad, the person running now, Matt, his dad started that company, right? And he was in Philadelphia before NFL licenses even existed, and like the major sports licensing even existed. He was buying nickel transfers and selling them. Like, what? the story behind, like, and some of these people don't even think these stories are valuable, but at the core of what it is, it's inspirational. I want to know who I'm shopping with. I want to know who I'm working with. Hey, Jimmy, over at Heat Press Nation, like, what's your background? Like, what? Like, man, how did you get into doing this? What do you think are core principles of winning? What about the culture of your company? I ain't talking about cutting vinyl, but like, I'm trying to figure out how to run a company.
Right.
What's the mindset that you feel like made you successful? Why we can't do that in our industry? They're doing it everywhere else. Who's doing it in our industry? But again, that comes from having meaningful conversations. You know what I'm saying? That comes from knowing what's going on and being able to articulate questions and picking. Like, bro, I could have asked Tori Lowitz any question. He actually is the creator of the American Apparel 2001, which is like the game-changing shirt. Right. I could have asked him any question. I probably could have asked him more questions. I actually had conversations back and forth. We talked about the mask. We talked about a bunch of stuff. He works at Bella Canvas now and patterns. And I'm like, man, I want to come and do a pattern. He's like, all right, yeah, maybe I can do it on the show. You can show us about pattern making. He's like, man, I can't show you how to make but you can show me. You ain't got to show me how to make your pattern. You can give me the basic structure. Like we ain't got to get into it that at that level. But the one question I chose to ask him is like, yo, why don't you guys make a 2X shirt or like above a 3X for your products? And he gave an answer. And it gives us an insight to their logic and thinking. So now when I say, listen, when they make it, y'all better buy it because don't complain about it and then don't buy it because if it sits, we prove them right. You know what I'm saying? Don't say you want to be a part of events like Made to Hustle and then don't show up to it wherever it is. I ain't saying like don't wait for me to come to North Carolina and Atlanta and all of these places, but you can't tell that I'm going everywhere to go get this information. So don't tell me you want to be a part of, like events like this, but you won't get up out of where you are and go, right? You won't invest into yourself to go and do it. Bro, the whole platform is free. The whole platform. Somebody like, oh man, you doing this, it costs what? It costs this, it costs that. The whole platform is free. In fact, I'm doing pay what you want. Pay whatever price you want.
Elaborate on that. I was trying to get back to that.
Yeah, 1 second. So but you have to invest into yourself, right? Like, bro, if I made courses, I know I could sell courses, right? I know obviously I made books. I sold the book for $100 and I never put it back out, right? So I know that I can create things and I could harbor the information, but I don't. And my friends told me I was crazy since the beginning and people you could be doing X, Y, and Z. I'm like, bro, I just don't. Why? Right? Like, why would I do it that way? Right now, I got it all free, and I will do courses and stuff like that. Invest into the course if that's what if you need the information, right? It kind of works hand in hand. But when you look at it in its entirety, it's don't at any level, don't say you want something, whether it's a 3X shirt or you want to be in a part of the community or you want to learn this and but you won't get up and go out and do it. Yeah, you're going to have to take off work. Yeah, you're going to have to fly. Yeah, you're going to have to drive 6 hours. I mean, people want man, how'd you get into the room with this dude, bro? I don't know. I was just everywhere that you can. You at some point, you got to see me, right? Like at some point, and now I'm a recognizable face. And listen, you come with me, man, y'all already see. I'm like, we out. Let's go. Forget it. I don't care what I ain't gonna say I don't care what it costs, but no, we going everywhere. Beat this person. Yo, look, this person, that person, he do this. And it's just we just doing what we do, right? And this thing should get bigger and bigger and bigger if we take part in with the things that we say we want.
Right.
Absolutely.
Stan, did you actually read Contagious?
I did.
Yeah.
I ain't read many books in my life, man. I probably read now 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
I get people tell me to read a lot. I actually been getting a lot of books. I never was a reader for real.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been getting a lot of books and I've been trying. I read a couple of things here and there, and you know what I'm saying? But information is definitely inside of books, you know what I'm saying? But it's also in these speeches that are on the internet. If you're listening for the right things, and in the terms of football, we say people watch the highlights. You know what I'm saying? They looking for oohs and ahs, and you studying film as a player, you ain't supposed to be looking for the oohs and ahs. You're supposed to be looking for the tendencies and the intricacies of how you can dominate a player. You know what I'm saying? So I was very disciplined in how, I could see things and watch film and, give me a couple plays of first down, give me a playlist of third down. All right, I know the game plan, I know what to do. You know what I'm saying? And I know based on what we're supposed to do, how everything fits. And I just apply that to kind of what it is that I'm doing now. But I guess the reason that I mention that is you have to be paying attention to the right things.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Good.
So yeah, that book was a great, you know what I'm saying? And it's right. It's gonna be right for some people, and then we modify the concept and we figure it out, man. So shout out to LaRussell. If you ain't listened to him, heard his music, hear what the message and what he talking about, man, it'll unlock a different type. And listen, a lot of people Nipsey was a part of my channel from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? I was very adamant about the things that I was studying and learning, and that is a part of what got me here. You know, like those concepts and those things. And I feel like, you know, a lot of people missed out on that and they kind of get it on the back end. But I was in real life, remember where I was at when Olu called me and told me, you know what I'm saying? And I remember exactly where I was sitting. I remember crying. I had lost my phone that night and going back and getting it. But like having a real impact on stuff. And I think this kid is something that you don't want to miss if you just an entrepreneur or hustler. Forget your background. Listen to the words. The delivery may be off, right? It may not be your delivery, but if you listen to what's going on and listen to it for substance, it's fucking amazing.
What happened the other night?
Yeah, he's dope. I watched that LA Leakers freestyle. I was very impressed.
Bro.
You know, and that's that rapping.
If like I can just start like yelling out bars, right? Like I stuck to the code, kept digging and struck gold. Like what is T-shirt shop? I just kept digging. Yeah. And eventually 5 years later, I struck gold. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to flex on nobody. I don't get on the platform and talk about money or nothing because I understand what we go through as Black creators and what we can and can't do, right? But like, I'm really trying to inspire. Yeah. I'm not the boss. I'm the owner. I can hire. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Look, what he said about his friends. You know what I'm saying? Split the pie with my fans. Oh, wait, and to pay what you want. I'm letting anybody become an affiliate. Once I get this thing rolling and content fill, anybody can be an affiliate. You share it to a friend, you get a piece. Like split the pie with my friends. I ain't gonna say those words. Keep it, you know what I'm saying? Fans, friends, fam, his dad.
But what do you say? I would shake your hand, but I got pie on my hands.
Yeah, I would shake it. Yeah, but do you want some of this pie? Are you coming to like I'll shake your hand, but do you want some of this? Because that's what I'm giving you. Right. And if that ain't like it speaks to my core because that's what I'm doing every day. Like I'm giving I'm my friends, my family, my acquaintance, whoever I see like around me, like, and it ain't I'm not even talking about it's not all about monetary, the pie, the knowledge, the money, the everything that goes into it. Everybody around here eats.
Conclusion, man. We talked about your trip to Honduras. We talked about the state of the industry. We talked about how smaller creators can bridge the gap and your plan to bridge the gap between creators in general and different companies. Talked about this not being just T-shirts, it's about life.
Yes.
And so talked that like being welcome to this TSH Network. Again, we want to just thank you for that, brother. Like, you don't even understand. Like, we had a conversation off camera, like, that we used to watch Stan Banks, you know what I mean? And now we actually get the opportunity to work with Stan Banks. We've met you in person and had lunch with you and all that type of stuff. Like, and I just want to commend you on that and let these people know you are you in real life as you are on this camera, man. So, so thank you for the invitation, brother. And we would love to, we're going to have to do this again, bring you back eventually and just stay updated on what's going on. Just to keep, maybe this should become a series, man, the state of the industry as things progress.
Yeah, man, I think in the grand scheme of things, man, like first and foremost, I commend you guys for putting the work in. You know what I'm saying? And I think like this is just a small stepping stone. It's a trial and error type of, situation that, I think could be very, very beneficial. You guys keep doing what you're doing. And I see the value. So, it's nothing for me to extend the platform to you guys. In the grand scheme of things, just about driving the full mission forward. You can connect with people that you align with, with your principles, your morals, your values, and all of that good stuff. And, overall, what I want you guys to understand and people who are watching, and this probably be a good snippet, is kind of like, listen, I'm not telling you like, I'm not telling y'all what to do, who to go get, like it is what it is at that standpoint. Right. So now it's like, you guys get to tell your story around the industry, and I want to help bring you guys some information, and I want you guys to share your perspectives on things that's going on and be abreast of it, and build community and bring people that you guys admire on and do y'all thing the same way y'all been doing it, and hopefully we can get more eyes and grow it and do some things. People should join your group, be involved in the conversation if it suits them. But I think you guys have been definitely doing the work. And we've been talking many a times, and it's nothing for me to come back anytime, whether it's on my platform or on this new network now at this point, or whether it was on y'all. Y'all know how I am. If anybody else out there wants to have me on to ask questions, to debate, to state their facts or their opinions or whatever the case is, I'm always open to it. And I think it's a healthy point. We don't all have to agree, but we don't even all have to agree that or say somebody else is wrong. Everybody's entitled to their perspective. So yeah, shout out to you guys for that. And man, I'm excited for what things are to come, because we just going to keep spreading the love and sharing the opportunity.